Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me in the co-host seat, as always, is our good friend Kaaya Tiana.
Hello.
Our friends Darren and Angela. Angela is not feeling well, so she's not going to be able to join us tonight. Darren is dealing with an emergency at work, so he is going to be late. But we are excited to be back on the air after a bit of a hiatus. Not sure when we can come back to full strength. My camera is not cooperating with the computer recently for whatever reason. I don't know if it updated when I wasn't home or something happened, but they have not been getting along. So camera is going to be in and out. I'm probably going to keep it off until I'm ready to do an unboxing. I have two mystery bags I got from the Oddities and Curiosities Expo that they had this past weekend in Philadelphia area. And tonight we're going to be doing a convention reviews because Kaaya went to a con and I've gone to two cons in 2 weeks thanks to scheduling and sickness. So hello, John Knight. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Great seeing you. I know it's been a while since we've been on the air, and I hope everybody out there truly is having a good time. I know a lot of people are probably like, holy crap, he's live.
He's still alive.
I am still alive. So it is good to be back, be streaming again and everything. We will start off in chronological order. Where last weekend I went to Liberty Comic Con out at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks, PA. It was a very, very small convention. The building itself is decent sized, but they split the building in half because there was also a gun show going on. As ironic as that is, it's like, okay, we're going to take the front half of this building is a gun show, and the back side is going to be Liberty Comic Con.
That's kind of a weird mix.
It is. And the big draw for us being wanting to go to Liberty Comic Con was actually one of the voice actors that they had there. And they had a decent collection of voice actors. From Chainsaw Man, they had Ryan Levy there. Barry Yandel, another voice actor. Tony Oliver. Steve Kramer. Michael Sorich. Caitlin Barr was the big draw for us because, and Darren's not here to argue, but in my wife's and my opinion, she voices the best girl from Date Alive, Natsumi, the witch that transforms, and is also an artist, as we discovered in season 4. They also had Kent Williams, Kylie McKee, Landon McDonald, Greg Deluche, Asia Simone, and then artists Ted Woods. Pop Culture Witnessing was there as well. Featured cosplayers Jamie, Aquaforce, Bada Hub, Candy's cosplays, and cosplayer Patricor Koss as the featured guest. So they had a pretty wide variety of guests and a lot of good voice actors. We had a lot of fun going around there. We were only there for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. Because, like I said, it was a small convention. It just so happened that I had called out. I had to call out of sick on the Wednesday, and we went on Friday for a few hours. That day also included going to a zoo and just having a family day with my family because the job that I have been assigned this past 3 months has been absolute hell on my body, and that's the main reason that we haven't been doing a show. I had given Kaaya, Angela, and Darren the choice of if they wanted to continue it or if we went on hiatus until I could be around more. And everybody unanimously said that it just doesn't feel right to not have me be on the show since I started the show so long ago. And I respect everybody's decision. If they had wanted to continue going, I would have been fine with that as well. But that's why you haven't seen much of us, and my work schedule has not permitted me much time to be home to stream, with many days of staying in the hotel for between 30 and 40 hours.
Yeah, you've been working a lot lately.
This job has become quite the grind. It just so happened because the way that this company works, especially out of the rail yard that I work out of, every road train has 3 pools. So I'm on the OH pool, and there's an O1, O2, and O3 side. So you figure a 3-day rotation. Day 1, the O1 leaves the main terminal. Day 2, the O2 leaves. Day 3, the O3 leaves. I've been on the O3 side. This week I got moved from the O3 side to the O2, which went out Sunday. My shift didn't change until Monday, so I actually don't go out until Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. Which gives me a couple of days off to kind of recover and relax, and maybe get some sleep again and get back into a normal schedule.
Yep.
But that is the main reason that I have not been around to do even the gaming like I've wanted to. So that's a little bit of the reasons of why you haven't seen much with AZR in the past month or so, because really haven't been around. I know Kaaya has been dealing with the health issues, and well, not health issues, but the rehab from injuries and getting back into the swing of things again. Angela has been dealing with some health issues with migraines and other things, and Darren just, works 2 jobs and kind of just does a ton of stuff.
Yeah, Darren's just dead.
Literally. Not sure if and when he will be joining us. Hopefully he does. Part of me was hoping to get everybody on tonight, but that's okay. Mondays, I knew Mondays typically were difficult for Angela anyway, but we'll see what happens in the future as to when we can start doing shows on a regular basis, or even just streaming and playing games or whatnot. But we had a lot of fun at Liberty Comic Con. Like I said, it was small. They probably had like 100 vendors, maybe. Yeah, I think they had like 100 or so vendors. One thing I've noticed about the conventions out here, especially the ones at this exposition center, because I have gone to this exposition center for many different events: anime cons, comic cons, horror cons, oddities, expos. I think I have attended 8 or 9 different events since I've moved to Pennsylvania at this one location, including back-to-back weeks, last weekend and this weekend. And Kai, you know that I collect anime figures.
Yep.
They didn't really have figures there. It was all pops. Like every vendor who had any like anime figure type of collectibles was pop figures, which I don't really like pop figures. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I do have some, but I prefer Nendroids. I just think the Nendroids look better. But almost nobody had any actual figures, and part of me wonders if it's because of, our friend Gavin Goska, who was a sponsor of the show for a long time with Home Circle Media. all the tariffs and stuff, it's been difficult to get stuff in without having to really jack the prices up. And I wonder if that has something to do with it. Did you see that at AAC?
No, you were at a Comic-Con, right?
It was a Comic Con, but even the anime cons at this particular location, you really didn't see much.
It has to be the vendors because Comic-Cons you'll see a lot more pops because of collector items.
Yeah.
But if you've seen at anime cons, that's weird. So that means the anime con's not getting like anime vendors.
Because like,
Maybe you don't have the vendors that like we have out here.
well, Zenkai Con, which is in Lancaster, about an hour away, had a lot of good vendors for anime figures and stuff like that. So, but they had like an anime specific convention at the same location, and you really didn't see much in the way of figure vendors.
Or it's so small they don't see a reason to go. Because a lot of them look at that now, a lot of artists too. If it's not worth the cost, they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I can understand that, especially where everything's so expensive. I don't know what the price is for price would have been for a table at Liberty City.
It can be upwards between like 150 plus, depending on the con.
Oh yeah, I remember the days of my wife vending with Casey Fox and getting the tables to sell her artwork, and yeah, it can get pricey, especially if you factor in like hotel and things of that nature.
Yep.
And but I did have a good time. I think in the future, going back to Liberty Comic Con, and this is nothing against the convention itself, but I think a lot of times it's going to determine A, on my schedule, and B, who the guests are. If they have good guests or people that really draw my attention, then I would be more likely to go. I'm curious to see for Animate Philadelphia when that comes in October, if they're going to have more of a vendors with anime figures and stuff like that, because that's going to take over the entire building.
I would say they would because AAC had a good amount. You know, they don't usually have a lot of like main vendors. They didn't have a lot of. They were around because you remember the old expo hall, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had all like the main vendors around the outside. And the whole middle was just artists.
Okay.
So I would say there were only about maybe 10, 15 regular vendors, and everybody else was just artists.
And before we jump from Liberty Comic Con to another anime convention that Kaaya was at, I want to throw a quick shout out to a friend of ours, Konako Urasaki, who is a talented VTuber tonight, is celebrating her 3-year streaming anniversary and birthday. So after we're done here, if you want to go over to Twitch and check out her stuff, twitch.tv/Konako_Urasaki, you can check out the Space Witch Cat. Right now, she is playing TCG Card Sim. I know they're going to be doing a few other things throughout the night. So definitely, if you want to go and check her out, support her. She has become a friend over the last few months, or I would say probably the last 3 or 4 months. We've become pretty good friends, chatting and things like that. So I want to show a lot of support to the VTubers that we have become friends with. And it was funny because my work has kept me busy and like very tired and not around much. Because even you, Kaaya, have noticed that I've kind of been MIA in the Discord sphere of a lot of the mutuals that we chat with. I had to laugh because I had said hi to our friend Aki Okumi after probably about almost a week of not being around, and she was happy to see me come in. She was like, I was going to reach out. She goes, I was getting worried. It's like, no, just work is being a pain in the ass. Hello, Nico the Gloom. Just came from a convention this weekend, and I got to meet and chat with Melissa Fawn. That's awesome. What convention were you at? That was a lot of conventions this weekend.
Yeah, there were. Is New York this weekend?
I am not sure. Was it Anime NYC? Is that what you're...
Yeah. Is it? I swear it might be this weekend.
Anime NYC, August 20th through 23rd. So yes, that is this weekend.
Jesus.
I am going to Maryland, so I won't be anywhere near it. So there's no chance of me going to that.
I want to say Aki's going.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Just forgot about AAC.
But hello, Pop Girl. It's wonderful to see you. Nico says Superstar Anime, Virginia Beach, Virginia. I haven't heard of that one. That's what I'll have to put in my notes to keep an eye out for in the future, maybe, because Virginia is not far from Pennsylvania and not far from where I'm at. So if I'm able to have time off and can go do something like that, might be fun to go to. And it's wonderful to see so many people coming in. It's John Knight, of course, and Pop Girl. I know it's been a while since I've seen Pop Girl around, and the time difference is very, very much an issue for a lot of times for Pop Girl to join us because they're in the UK. But AAC, how was that? It's a first time in quite a few years it got back to its original, well, not original home, but probably its best home in Manchester, New Hampshire. And was it 20-year anniversary?
Yep, it was the 20-year. Wasn't... For me, I didn't do much. Angela did a lot more, so she would have a lot more to say because I barely even went to panels. I just hung around. It was nice because it was, I believe that's where I originally met you, correct?
That is correct. That is the con we originally met. Fun fact, Kaaya and I met at AAC sharing a hotel room because for those who don't know, there's a lot of times when you're planning on going to conventions where you will book a hotel room, and then to make the costs cheaper, you will search for people to share the cost, whether they sleep on the floor, if there's two beds and everybody takes a different bed, or there's always some sort of sleeping arrangement. But that's how Kaaya and I met when he shared the room with me and my wife. And I don't remember if there was somebody else or it was just the three of us that year.
It was just the three of us that year.
That's right. I think we had a fourth one and they backed out.
Yeah, because I remember it was actually my friend found your post on Facebook, I believe, told me about it, and then I messaged you.
Yeah. And we have been good friends ever since. And we've hung out like every time that we could hang out.
Yep. I miss those days when we'd grab a bunch of people and throw them in a hotel room.
Yeah. I miss those days too. And it's looking like with my change in plans in November, it looks like those plans are changing again.
Oh, really?
Because I know we were talking about originally looking at On Key. On Key has had some things pop up where they might have to push it off another year just for scheduling conflicts. And they realized for a first year con, things were moving too fast, too soon. And they didn't want to jeopardize the integrity and, put on a bad show that we've seen so many first year cons make mistakes. So they wanted to take a step back, reevaluate things, and try to get things to where they want it and could be proud of it, which we totally understand. That's why we decided to change things up Bakuretsu-Con in Colchester, Vermont is the same weekend. So we were looking at doing the weekend up there. Especially considering the fact that is the convention that my wife and I met at 12 years ago. And now it's looking like those plans might change again to where we're not going to spend as much time at Baku as we originally were thinking. We're still going to Baku. I think instead of staying at the hotel, we're going to stay with her grandparents who live just across the lake, just outside of Plattsburgh, New York. Plus, we get to see her family, her grandparents, daughter. Daughter will join us probably on Saturday at Bakuretsu-Con. And then Sunday on the drive home, we will probably stop at Saratoga Comic-Con because voice actress friend of ours who's been on the show multiple times, Marissa Lenti, is going to be a guest there. Plus, Bun Bun Bite Bread, I think was it Bread Bite or something? The cosplayer. I feel bad. I'm drawing a blank on her name, on her cosplay name. She's been a guest on the show a couple of times. She is a guest cosplayer at the event. Also, our friend Jay Morris is typically a featured artist at the convention, so it'd be great to see them as well. So we might turn that into stopping at 2 conventions instead of just one small one. So we will see what the future holds for November. That's still a few months away, but really, it's like far away, but we'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, it'll come up quick.
Which means October and November is going to be really busy for me with a lot of traveling and a lot of time off, because that's when I was able to use a lot of my vacation time. I have the 3 days off for Animate Philly. I have 3 days off, 2 weeks after 2 weeks after that, or 2 weekends after that, I should say, for my wife's bodybuilding show. And then I have the week off in November for going up to New York.
Yeah, I think for me, this is it for conventions for this year. And they didn't announce what the dates are. They said it still might be in August next year for AAC, but they didn't give us any dates. But if it's in August next year, I probably won't go, especially if I go to Oshicon.
Yeah.
That'll be a trip. You know that con, right?
I do not.
It's in the Philippines.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a Philippines.
Okay.
VTuber convention. It's a Filipino VTuber convention. My friend vended for it for the first time this year.
I would almost say if you could make it out for Zenkai Con, I think you would have a good time. Zenkai Con reminds me of an AAC. About the same size, they bring in, probably about the same amount of guests, a lot of good vendors, a lot of good cosplays, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania is a nice older town like Manchester is. A lot of like brick buildings, some good scenery and stuff like that.
I'm not sure.
I know that this year I believe they were in March. I'm not sure what Zenkai is going to be for next year.
Because I've been thinking of just traveling. I might go to Vexpo next year. I'm thinking about that too.
Zenkai Con, let's see, March 18th through 21st, 2027.
I can't do that. No way. It's too close to PAX. PAX East I go to every year.
Yeah.
Because PAX East,
it's probably like 2 weeks later. Or 3 weeks later.
The issue is I can't take like a whole
ton of time off and
right, because I have to drive down there, which takes time. PAX East next year is April 21st.
It says April 22nd through 25th.
Yeah,
2027.
So I take that week off because I only have 2 weeks vacation. So if I do Oshicon, I'm gonna need a week off.
Yeah.
because I've been to Japan. It's the same type of jet lag almost. It's like probably 10 hours ahead of us. So I have to take that in consideration.
Pop
So I know,
goes. Go ahead.
because I know Angela asked me if I wanted to do press with her at Anime Boston. I might not even do Anime Boston next year.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For Anime Boston, I'm thinking of looking at doing some other Pennsylvania-based or like shows a little bit closer. As much as I do love the New England conventions and stuff, because that's where our roots have been for years.
Yep.
I feel like branching out, and I also might be thinking of other projects to work on as well for the future. Things that
Well,
are
and it would be
not quite
easier for
AZR related.
you
Yeah.
because you could make it out to cons out there a lot easier.
Oh yeah. Kind of like how Darren can make the conventions down in North Carolina and everything, and
Yep. Because, going to Anime Boston this year, it's just like, I just think it's too big for me now. I enjoyed myself and I didn't.
yeah.
They didn't have like, maybe it's because it's been so long since I'm gone. Didn't have the panels I liked anymore. The vendor room, to me, it was just, there was nothing there I liked.
Yeah.
It was like with AAC this year. There was nothing there that interested me in the vending hall.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have too many. Like, I'm not going to keep spending money on figures. I have too many of them.
Yeah.
And the stuff I'm like looking for, they don't have.
Yeah, and your tastes have definitely kind of veered more towards the VTuber scene
Yes.
than the anime scene, which so it makes sense of if there's not going to be much in the way of VTuber content, it's probably not going to pique your interest. And as we grow older and times change, and we change, our interests change. What we're able to do changes, and I totally understand that. And it's like it's nothing against these events. Anime Boston has been a fantastic con for many years. It's just as we've gotten older, it's like, okay, I've moved away from Boston. Instead of it being an hour drive, now we're looking at 7 or 8 hour drive just to get to Boston, not let alone, all the time at the convention, and have to drive back, which would probably cut the Sunday out for me because I would have to, depending on what job I'm awarded, I would probably have to work Monday.
Yep. Well, that's the thing with me too. Is I technically, because I have to ask for this off. Sunday's the start of the work week for me.
Yeah.
So luckily, it's the slowest. So I could usually get it off. But there's been a few Sundays at cons. Luckily, it's in Boston. I have to run out and do a couple stores and come back.
Yeah.
I had to do that with PAX one year. I ran out, serviced a couple stores, and came back. I left at like 4 or 3 in the morning. Called the because I worked for the company before. I called the night crew chief, be like, "Hey, can you let me in the service the store?" He let me in. I just had to wait for the second store to open at 7 o'clock. It only took me like half an hour to service. Then I just went back to the con. But I think the only really big con I'll go to going forward is PAX. But the thing with PAX, there's always something for me to do there.
Oh, yeah, and
I'm never bored.
Yeah, and that's another thing is we've seen how conventions have changed over the years. The panels have changed over the years, and a lot of times it's like I find difficulty being like, I don't see a panel that interests me at this event.
That's what happened with me at both AAC and Anime Boston.
One thing I will give credit to for Zenkai Con, because I went all 3 days and actually enjoyed myself all 3 days with the variety of cosplayers, the vendors. Granted, the Friday of Zenkai Con, I had Akio Kumi on tablet, so I was walking around with a VTuber and a lot of interactions that way. Saturday, it was just me and my wife, and then Sunday was the whole family going. And so, we were able to have a good time. We hit a couple of panels and things like that. But like I said, it just felt more of like a AAC kind of, like, not too small, but not too big.
Yep.
But still very, like, there was enough to do to keep you entertained. There was a lot of different vendors. There was a lot of great cosplay. For any Philadelphia Flyers fans out there, that we got to see Hatsune Miku, or I should say Hatsune Gritty, the Flyers mascot dressed up as Hatsune Miku, which was absolutely hysterical.
That's awesome.
We saw it on Saturday, but we were, I think, going to a panel or something, so we couldn't get a photo. And then we saw him on Sunday and got a photo.
Yeah, from going what Pop Girl said, if a con doesn't have people I want to meet, I don't usually go. That's a big issue for me because I don't follow the English voice acting industry at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. So there's usually not a guest there that I want to see at most anime cons.
And I still watch the anime and stuff, but a lot of anime I've been consuming recently has been dubbed, or I should say has been subbed, and I'll go back and rewatch it dubbed a lot of times because I want to, we've thrived off of having so many amazing voice actors, English dubbing voice actors on the show over our history, and I still want to support them. I still want to, see the work that they do, and I still enjoy going and getting to meet them when I can. Much like with Caitlin Barr, we finally got a chance to meet her, and I'd gotten her autograph about 3 or 4 years ago when I still lived in New York. I won money on it. I'd won, I think it was like $600 on a scratch ticket. So I was going to surprise my wife for Christmas with an autographed picture of Natsume from Data Live from Caitlin. So when we got to meet her, do you remember the show To Love Ru?
Yep.
She was Darkness, or Golden Darkness, in the English dub. And I have a figure of Darkness. So I went and brought the stand of the figure with me and had her sign it. And it was great to get a chance to meet her in person. And she knew who we were and had a good time chatting.
That's probably another reason why I like going to like PAX or, Boston Comic Con is I know the guests they bring there.
Yeah.
Like Fan Expo had the Hobbits.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see those actors. Like,
and in the chat, Pop Girl says that she prefers smaller cons. It's just her opinion, which I totally agree. I enjoy smaller cons. Because of Anime-Zing Radio, I view cons in two different views. Smaller conventions I view as more entertaining, more stuff to do, where you can make more connections with the attendees. Bigger conventions, and Anime Boston, Anime NYC, San Diego Comic-Con, like these really huge events, are more for networking and merchandise.
Yep.
Because 9 times out of 10, and Kaaya, you can vouch for this, we have friends that go to Anime Boston and we can be there for 4 days and not see them a single time.
Oh yeah. If it wasn't for the group chat I made and me just hanging around Aki, I probably would have never saw her.
And I do wish, looking back, I do wish that I could have gone to Anime Boston because that would have been the chance to get to meet Aki and Wisp.
Yep.
And I don't know when that chance is going to happen now.
Oh, you have more chances.
I mean, I know that there's definitely going to be, I know we're definitely at some point going to be able to meet in person, but I'm just not 100% sure when that's going to be.
Someday.
One of these days. And I was looking anime AAC or another anime convention. The guest list this year wasn't horrible for voice actors side of things. Howard Wang is a good one. Katie Townsend, Cynthia Krantz, who I've talked to before on Facebook, actually. I think she was supposed to be a guest on the show back when we first started, and I cannot for the life of me remember if she made it to the show or had to cancel last minute, because those archives are part of Hazy Radio history, and I don't think I have that anymore. Monica Flatley, I know the name and I recognize some of the characters that she's voiced. Chris Kaysen is another good one. He's been around for a while. Laura Woodhull, another one that has been around for a while. She voiced young Deku in My Hero. Krillin in Dragon Ball. Clara and Princess Jellyfish, Chimney in One Piece. So she's got a lot of good roles under her belt as well. So the English guest list wasn't horrible for AAC.
No.
I know Angela said that she had chatted with a few people going to panels and things like that. So, Pop Girl, if you come to Virginia for your next trip to the U.S., definitely reach out because Virginia is not far from Pennsylvania. Probably about 5 or 6 hours, and I would make a day trip to come out and hang out and meet you. I'm not gonna lie. I have driven farther for less. If we could plan things out accordingly, I could try to get like a weekend off from work, which sometimes that's like pulling teeth, but that just comes with the territory, and I'm gaining more seniority, so the more seniority I have, the easier it is to get time off. Hashtag railroad life. The other convention that we went to was the Oddities and Curiosities Expo in Philadelphia, again at the Greater Philly Expo Center in Oaks, PA. This is a traveling convention. It is the thumbnail that we used for the show. And give me just 1 second here. And it is really, really neat because it's not your normal kind of convention. It is, or I can't say normal kind of. It's not the normal convention that you and I would attend in years past. This is more of the weirder stuff. You've got some paranormal stuff. You've got, taxidermy. You've got a lot of gothic themed things, jewels, things, a huge variety of stuff. We went last year and really enjoyed ourselves, so we were able to go back again this year because the way that my schedule worked out, I was home in time on Sunday for us to go and hang out for a few hours. And if the camera wants to cooperate, we can do a couple of mystery boxes. So let me see if I can get this to work. Like I said, the camera has been fighting the computer since I got the new desk. And I'm not sure why it wants to be such a pain in the butt, but...
Yeah, and Pop Girl, yeah, America is very big. I still remember the time I drove from my place all the way to Florida.
All right. So camera's working, so we'll try to do this quick. The first box we got is from House of Hex. You can
Oh,
check.
and can't see anything on the camera. You are a black screen.
I'm a black screen.
You are a black screen.
All right, let's try.
Oh, wait. You had it for a second right there.
Okay. So
good.
So that is, I'm trying to get to where you can kind of see it. House of Hex. It is houseofhexshop.com. And I have no idea what's in this. This one was, my daughter picked it out. This was a $36 box. They had a bunch of like cute stickers and other things. So let's take a quick gander in. And, oh, art piece. That's really kind of neat. A bat. I like that. Socks. I see like mushrooms, berries. It's like a very force. There's frogs. For those of you who know of Apothecary Diaries and how there's so many frog references that have come out because of that. Our oldest daughter last year had come out and watched the entire series, like both seasons 1 and 2, in like 3 days while she was with us. Ever since then, we have teased her about frogs. She is in her teens, and it's just that has been an ongoing joke for over a year now. So the fact that we got socks that have frogs on it is absolutely hysterical. What else we have in here? Feels like a couple other things. Oh, that's kind of neat. Keychain with a black cat on it. Live, laugh, leave me alone. I like that. This has actually been a really good. And we stopped and chatted with the owner of this place for probably a good 20 minutes. Evie had a great time talking with them. And then a little sticker.
Oh.
So anything else? That is all that was in there, but I am not disappointed because the print alone is probably a $15, $20 print. Socks are usually expensive, especially considering the fact I noticed on here it actually says House of Hex on them. So that is that mystery bag. And the other one came from Charmed Crystals. It's a $40 mystery bag. Crystals, jewels, herbs, and pendulums. I love those who may not know of my history of being around psychics, paranormal things of that nature. I'm I'm an energy sensitive person. So like I love rose quartz and different types of gems and jewels and stuff like that. So I had to get a mystery bag from this place just because A, I love that stuff, and B, I'm addicted to mystery bags. So I am definitely curious to see what this holds. Whatever it is, it's wrapped up. Oh, I think it's only one item. And rainbow petrified wood, full round, double polished. So petrified wood, which actually looks really nice.
It's like a rock.
It looks like it feels like a rock, but it's petrified wood. You can actually see like the wood grain on the side. That explains why this bag was so heavy. Oh, there's one more thing in there. This was wrapped up because obviously they didn't want anything happening to it. And then you had a little bracelet, chipstones, blue gold stone little bracelet, which looks nice. It's definitely not something that I want around the cat because the kid, especially Nana Chi, she's an idiot. She would try to eat it. But I'm not knowing that like this here alone is priced $39, and being petrified wood from Arizona, or I'm not sure if this. I believe. Oh no, this wasn't the company. Was this a company that had stores in Arizona too? I don't remember. They might be because they had like Arizona petrified wood from the petrified forest. So I'm not overly upset with that. I thought there was going to be more, but when you look at the value of what you got, considering the fact of petrified wood, and anybody who knows jewels or gems, rocks, things of that nature, that stuff can be expensive. I've seen rose quartz that size go for $150. So I can understand that, and I think that was actually a pretty good value thing. I like the House of Hex better, but both of them were really, really good. So check out both places if you saw anything that interests you. Especially like the House of Hex, the woman was very, very nice, had some really cool things. From Liberty Comic Con, we did buy a few other things. I got a couple of keychains. Actually, everybody ended up leaving with keychains. I don't remember the places that we got them, but I got Freerin with a grimoire, and then from another one, got Freerin and a Mau Mau keychain. The artwork, we got 3 pieces of artwork, which I can't show because they are hung up. I got a Mau Mau piece, and it was 3D art. Each came in like layers, so each color kind of was like its own layer. So from a distance, it looks amazing. When you're holding it, you can feel that, oh, well, this is kind of popped out and multiple layers. My daughter got an Evolution circle, and my wife got a Pennywise because she is a big horror fan and has really gotten back into the horror rabbit hole. So lots and lots of good stuff that has been going on. So I haven't been fully away from the anime scene or trying to get content, but these were kind of like last minute things of, oh, well, we have the time off, let's go and do this. And that's one reason that's been so difficult to try to schedule anything for the show, because never knowing when I'm around, and obviously when I don't know when I'm around, it's definitely like, oh yeah, let's do a show such and such, until I know that I actually have all this stuff. Pop Girl, you have a wonderful night. Don't be a stranger. Shoot me messages on Facebook. Would love to chat with you. I know it's been a while because life gets in the way. But definitely is wonderful to see you. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And like I said, if you're able to come to the Virginia area next year or in the future, feel free to reach out. Like I said, we'd love to get to meet you in person. We can trash talk the Bills. She is a diehard Bills fan. I like the Bills, but I'm a Patriots guy from New England. It's that's just how we roll. And I just realized that my camera has been mirrored the whole time. I'm like, why does everything look weird? But anime-wise, have you been able to keep up with anything?
I've been keeping up with Jobless Reincarnation, Slime, Villager. Been watching Tomb Raider. That's been interesting. Other than that, not really watching too much.
What has been your opinion of Jobless Reincarnation? Because I just caught up before the show, And it has gone like 5 different directions than what I thought it was gonna.
It's slow. I think I'm trying to remember because I know the manga
Yeah.
where it's going. But I feel like they tried to throw a bunch of manga chapters into the season.
So filler.
I think it's going to be mostly filler. I think it might end in a cliffhanger.
It feels like it's lining up that way based off of the episode I watched tonight.
How far are you up to the latest episode or?
The episode that dropped yesterday.
Okay.
So I am all caught up on everything that is out on Crunchyroll.
Okay, so you're up to the cough up blood part.
Yep. And that's where they left it off at. I'm like, yep. What the hell? I'm also curious as to this, what correlation, God, what's his name? I just watched Rudy and the Dragon Knight there. What they have in correlation, because it seems like there is some history there that they're hinting at that they're not saying anything of.
I mean, how with him, because it happened in the past.
Yeah,
like Rudy has already fought one of his subordinates.
Oh, yeah, that I know.
In previous seasons.
But I feel like there's more history between him and the main guy, not just the subordinate. Just based off of some of the assumptions and some of the mannerisms.
I'll say it's not to Rudius directly. That's all I'll say. It's hard because I know the manga and I know the ending, and I know a lot.
Please tell me Eris comes back in more than what she has been.
Depends. It becomes confusing because I got confused with this whole manga.
Spoiler alert, does he end up marrying Eris as well?
I'm trying to remember because I don't want to say it because I kind of like spoil something.
Okay.
If you don't mind the tiny spoiler.
I don't mind because I'll be upfront. Eris is one of my favorite females from the show.
I think it depends. If I remember correctly, I think it depends on what timeline he's on. That's all.
And
this is where it will confuse you once you find out about this.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I'm trying to remember because it's just.
Now
this is where you get the mannerism from and why he asked that question. Have you had a son yet?
Okay.
Because he knows, but Rudius doesn't yet.
Okay. Okay.
It's one of those weird. When I found out about this, I was like, it makes it more interesting. For sure. It made the whole series more interesting. But I just wonder if this season will bring it to that part, but I don't think it will.
No.
Because if it stays where they are.
In?
Yeah. Because I think it's just going to stay where it is, and he needs to be home to get to that part. But Slime's getting good.
Yeah, I fell off of Slime after season 2. I don't think... Season 2, did they split that up in 2 parts, or was it season 3 that they split up in 2 parts?
I think it was season 3 they split it up.
So I think I got through all of 2, and then I haven't touched it since. Yeah, and it's not because I don't like it. It's just because there was so much other stuff, and then I just kind of fell off of Slime that it's tough to get back into it.
Yeah, Slime's another one. I've been somewhat spoiled in the story, but it's getting to a good part.
One show that I don't think will ever have a good part, and I think that's why I thoroughly enjoy it, is Chainsmoker Cat. This show is so like disgustingly entertaining. the It's a show that doesn't take itself seriously, but takes itself seriously. If you know what I mean.
No, I know. I've heard stories of it.
Like, I feel like this show would be a wonderful campaign of what can happen to people because of addiction, and not just nicotine addiction, because there's an alcoholic, there is a heavier drug user, and you are seeing the effects that these substances are having on these characters, and it happens.
Yeah, I heard
to
her
everybody.
and her friends aren't really the best friends either, from what I've heard from people talking about the series.
I mean, I think you had mentioned that you don't plan on seeing it.
No.
So if you don't want to be spoiled,
I don't care. So you could spoil me with this one.
I'll spoil you. I don't know if anybody in our chat wants to be spoiled or not, but you have Yanni Neko, who is the Chainsmoker Cat, main character. Episode 1, first 5 minutes, you see her smoking cigarette after cigarette, basically shitting herself or shitting in the toilet, and you actually see the stream going into the toilet. She flashes her landlord her boobs, which then you see the landlord in his room rubbing one off. That's all within like the first 5 minutes of the show. It's just that out there. There's another point where she gets a pack of cigarettes. She drops cigarettes on the ground. They land in a pile of crap. She walks away. She is such an addict that she goes back and picks the cigarettes up and cuts the tips off that were in the pile of crap, so that she could still smoke the good parts in her mind. She lives in filth, poverty, only works to get money to buy cigarettes, barely eats food. She does have a younger sister that tries her best to take care of the older sister. And I think it was Gigik who put it this way and said they tried really hard to produce anime's most disgusting waifu, because the characters are like they're adorable characters and would be 10 times better if they took care of themselves, but they just live so disgustingly and don't care. But I know that there are people out there who are just going to be like, oh my God, they're just so, that's definitely waifu material. Because let's be honest, the anime culture, a lot of us at some point in our anime lives, especially teenagers, you see stuff like that, and it's like, ooh, I saw titties, and you get excited, and that's what gets a lot of teenagers and stuff into the anime, which you don't see as much ecchi stuff, but this show is definitely out there. Episode 2, they introduce a neighbor who is I just based off of what it looks like, and I can't say for a fact because they never specify exactly what is going on, but it looks like the neighbor is smoking weed and shooting something into her arm. That's where the heavier drugs comes in. She has another neighbor that is addicted to alcohol, constantly drinking. So it's like everybody in this like apartment complex or this apartment building has some sort of issues. There's another cat girl who's homeless that comes in later on in the series. So it's a show that feels like every episode or like the first 3 episodes try to outdo the one before it as to just how many lines they can cross. Episodes 4 and 5 kind of get a little bit tamer, and the most recent one that dropped this past Thursday was back up there of, okay, what kind of lines can we cross in a different manner? but a lot of it was funny as hell. And there are a lot of fart jokes, which, mentally I'm 5. I find that stuff hysterical. But my God, this show is just so out there. Another show that literally doesn't take itself seriously, 100 Girlfriends. Oh my God. I just caught up on that as well tonight. I'm not 100% sure what to make of this. I mean, I will be 100% honest. This is not a very good show. But I think the saving grace is the fact it knows it's ridiculous. It makes fun of itself. And it's kind of makes it to where you want to see what happens next. You know what I mean? It's like it's a show that it's like, okay, how many different anime tropes can this one guy end up falling in love with? That's pretty much, in my opinion, all the show is. How many anime tropes can this idiot fall in love with? And you have everything from the tsundere to the cute girl to the mom to the maid, the bookworm, the shy girl, the food girl. You have the nerdy girl. You have the tall girl who likes flowers, and the girl who tries to have perfect beauty. And I think he's at 15, and I think the most recent episode they started to get into number 16. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's definitely out there. Other shows that I am watching, I'm trying to scroll through to find them. Cat and the Dragon, I'm behind on. That hasn't been too bad. Definitely not what I was expecting. And it seems like it's a bunch of smaller stories revolving around one main character that is a dragon that was raised by a cat.
Okay.
And so the dragon can take cat form and stays at the den where his mother, or the cat mom that hatched him, raised him, and took care of him. So ever since then, him and his cat siblings he stays there. Everybody else comes back. All the other cats come back and forth to have more kittens, and it's like every episode is the next litter and how he interacts with that litter, and then what those kittens, as they grow up to be cats, decide to do. Do they stay in the forest? Do they want to explore different areas? Do they go to a human town? Because he's a dragon and he wants to watch over all of the cats because they are his family. He has a deal with the local humans where they don't go and try to hunt the cats, and they actually work together and things like that. So it's kind of interesting. I know I'm a few episodes behind on that because I've been watching a lot of other things. And that sounds like a wild Darren might be trying to appear. I think we have a wild Darren.
I'm just popping in to say hi for a few minutes. I'm still at work dealing with this. So, I'll probably have y'all on mute for the next few minutes, but if y'all keep going till the normal scheduled time, I'll be along in like 10, 20 minutes.
All right.
Okay, dope.
Sounds good. We were just talking, I was giving my opinion of Chainsmoker Cat.
I am several episodes behind on that because this past week has been a week from hell, both for Bojangles and
landscaping.
And yes, and on top of that, the real feel was 110, 111 today, something like that.
Good God.
And it's been like that for the past couple of days. So it's hot and dry.
Jesus.
So we will let you get back to what you need to get back to, and then you can pop in when you can, and once things are a little bit smoother. I'm not sure if we're going the full 2 hours or if we're going to cut it shorter, because this was kind of like, oh, I've been to 2 cons in the last 2 weeks, and Kaaya and Angela had gone to AAC, and
I was supposed to or trying to go to GalaxyCon, but that did not happen, courtesy of work. And that was the week that it seems like everybody and their mother requested off for something or another. So I was like, that ain't happening.
Plus, it's good to just get back and like bullshit, and chat with the awesome people who come in and hang out with us, and it's been 3 weeks since I last live streamed, and 5 weeks since we last had a scheduled Sunday show.
Mm.
Because of my work schedule, and I've been on this train for 9 weeks now.
Dang. Well, consistency is a good thing.
Yeah, I've been going to Hagerstown for 9 straight weeks, and I've been bouncing between, as I was explaining to everybody earlier, every road train out of my home terminal has 3 sides. Side 1, 2, and 3. I had been holding side 3 on this train for about 5 weeks. This week, I got moved to side 2. The thing is, side 2 went out Sunday. My schedule didn't change until midnight or 12 a.m. Monday morning. So my scheduled train this week went out Sunday, so I'm not going back out again until 10:30 p.m. Wednesday night. And then I'll be going out.
I hope you've at least been able to get some sleep, because this whole past 9 days, except for this morning, I got 3-4 hours maximum almost every single day, because it's been that kind of week.
I average about 3 to 4 hour blocks of sleep. Last night I actually got 6 straight hours of sleep, which is probably the second most I've gotten in the last 4 months.
Last night I fell asleep at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, woke up at midnight, fell back asleep, woke up at 4:30, fell back asleep, woke up at 9 o'clock, and finally got up.
A lot of times I go to, especially because my work schedule, I'm on duty at 10:30 at night. I work in a 12-hour day until 9:30, 10:30 in the morning, and then go to the hotel. Thankfully, the hotel that we stay at has the light canceling shades, so I can just put that down and sleep. Thing is, it's usually about a 3 or 4 hour nap before I have to get up and use the bathroom. And then I don't know when the train's coming, so it's stay up and eat a little bit, go back, lay down, try to, get naps in or sleep when you can. But when you're waiting for a call and you're in your mind, you're expecting a phone call, you don't let your body fully get into a good sleep, especially if you don't know if you're getting called out in 12 hours or 40 hours, which a lot of the trains recently have been taking a long time. I got lucky that last trip we didn't get our assigned train back. We got a different one. But it was the same run, Hagerstown to Allentown. But our scheduled train still was at least 20 hours away when we got this, and we got out in about 12 hours rest. So it's just one of those things. That's why I've been away from streaming games, and I haven't even done much in playing games in a few weeks. I did get back into Animal Crossing because I bring my Switch with me to the hotel, so I've been playing that a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah, you just don't have the time.
Yeah. Other anime I think I'm behind on that I've been trying to watch. The Frontier Lord Begins with Zero Subjects has actually been entertaining. It turned out to be a little bit better than I was expecting. It's a story of a hero who ends up getting rewarded a plot of land that is supposed to be barren with no people or villages. He discovers a race that is living on the land that he was given. That they live in secrecy because they don't get along with the humans. Things happen. Somehow he ends up getting, a wife who is one of the girls from this village. And you get to see how just the everyday crap that happens. It's one of those kind of like slice of life. Start with nothing and build into something. It's not really anthropomorphic, but I know that there's it. But it feels like it's definitely one of those fantasy worlds with demons and elves and stuff like that. Along a similar type of feel, watching I Became a Legend after my 10-year long last stand. That one's been kind of interesting. Try to think, what else am I watching? Because I know that there, Villager of Level 999. That's thrown a lot of curveballs out there. Is there anything? I think that's it for what I'm watching. I thought I was watching more, but I think that's about it that I'm keeping up with. Outside of watching some of the VTubers and things like that, hanging out with them, and not hanging out, but chatting with them and stuff when I can. Again, a big shout out to our friend Konako Urasaki. Oh, she's live right now on Twitch. She is celebrating her, I believe it was 3-year streaming anniversary and also birthday. I will post a link in the chat for her stuff. So if you are able to check her out, be sure to show some support. Congratulate her on streaming. She has become a good friend of ours over the past few months, and somebody that I'm hoping to be able to do some collabs with, and maybe at some point get on the show. We've seen a lot of you have seen her in the chat from time to time. Obviously, she's not able to, lurk tonight because she's live. Also, throw a shout out to another friend of ours, part of the same company that Akio Kumi works with. I would throw Cepheus's link out there. He is streaming now. He has not been a guest on the show yet, but I've talked with him on quite the regular basis. Right now, he is playing Overwatch. Any other new stuff going on in the world of VTubers that you've been able to keep up with?
Not really, other than drama.
Which there's always drama.
Oh, it's bad. It's high school.
Oh, yeah.
People need to chill. People need to just have fun. I think it's one of the reasons why I follow more overseas VTubers than I do around here.
Yeah. I mean, we've been lucky enough to become friends with a few different ones. Konako is up in Canada. She's also become friends with Cypro and Mochi, who I watch all the time. She's a mod in their channels. They mod in hers. And I know Konako said that when she's around, I got to figure out how to make her a mod in our Twitch channel. But lots of good stuff that was going on. Also, throw a shout out to a few other artists at the conventions that we were at. Living Biohazard was there. They had some really cool things at the Oddities Expo. Kahusings or something like that. KAH or KH OOSINKZ. Oh, chaos. So KHAOS, Chaos Inks. Okay, that makes sense. It helps if you read the card, dumbass. Chaos Inks. You can find them on, looks like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. They had some really cool artwork. Had another VTuber / artist, Hikaru, was there as well. If the camera wants to work, I can throw the card up. Kind of a cute little character. So if you want to check them out, hopefully you can get the QR code and you can check out their socials. And I did give them a follow on Twitch. Have not seen them live, but like I said, they were streaming or they were at a convention, so they probably are not live right now. But definitely, shout outs to people. And I had other cards up here. I'm just trying to remember where everything came from. It's tough when you go to a lot of different events and you end up with so many different cards for different things. It's like, where did I see them at? Was this at this con or that con? I don't remember. Especially in my case where I suffer from CRS really bad.
We need to get more cards for AZR.
Yeah. That's something I need to work on in the near future. Make sure that everything's still going good, and I don't want to put a ton of stuff, like put a ton of work into getting the cards and things until I know for a fact that I can be back on a regular basis, or that you guys are comfortable enough to keep it going, even if I'm going to be absent for an extended time like this.
Yep.
Because I love doing the show. I love being a part of it. I love the community that we have. Everybody who comes in, Ross and John and Pop Girl, Neko, who is in there. Everybody who comes and goes. I love seeing the people. They always, a lot of interactions. You guys are fantastic out there. I love the interactions with everyone. I just wish that, I wish I could have this job and still be able to do the podcast on a regular basis, but that's not going to happen for a bit until, the time comes where I have enough of a seniority that I don't have to worry.
Yeah, that's the tough part when you get a new job.
That's the tough part about the railroad is there's a lot of people above me in seniority. Granted, I'm moving up the lifts fast enough to where I can hold a road job on a regular basis, but I don't have enough seniority to hold a local where I work 5 days a week, get 2 days off every single week.
Yeah, but your job also probably doesn't have a huge turnover either.
Yes and no. It has a huge turnover, but I'm at the point of where a lot of the turnover is the people below me.
Yeah, so it doesn't affect you.
So it doesn't affect me. What I need to keep an eye out for, and what I need to hope for is, or not hope for, but I know there's a lot of engineers that are nearing retirement age. As they retire, the conductors that are above me in seniority are then sent to engineer school to become engineers. The thing is, you work hard as a conductor, you put your time in as a conductor to move up the seniority ranks, because when I was first hired out and as a conductor trainee and first marked up as a conductor, I was on the extra list where you sit and you wait and you get called for, it could be 6 days and you're on the extra list for 6 days, and then you get 48 hours rest. Well, you could get called for anything at any time. And it doesn't matter how many people are on that extra list. You could be fourth in line and be like, oh, there's only one train showing that needs something. I won't get called today. And 4 hours later, you're getting called to do something because 2 other people called out sick, and one of the people in front of you didn't answer a call. So when you thought that you were safe to go to the store or do something with your family or something like that, oh crap, nope, I just got a call. I need to get ready, and I've got 2 hours to get to work. Or they could have called it, or they can call an extra train or things of that nature. There's times when, okay, well, we have a ton of freight that needs to go to a location. The normal train isn't here yet, and we're not sure when it's going to get here. So let's make an extra train and throw an engineer and conductor off the extra list to go on that, so we can get these cars to their destination, so the customers can get their product in a timely manner. There's so much stuff behind the scenes that I never fully understood about railroading and things, and like the transportation industry in general. So it's kind of neat to see how this stuff works, and it's stuff that we normally don't think about.
No.
I mean, the average person goes to the store and is like, I want to buy a TV, or I need my Fruit Loops or product X. But a lot of times you don't think about, okay, well, there's a company that had to make, one of our customers is Coca-Cola. We bring tank cars of corn syrup to Coca-Cola for them to then take that out and turn it into the product, which then could get loaded on either tractor trailers, or some customers, they load a boxcar. Well, the boxcar then has to get coupled up on what's called a local, sent to a terminal where it gets put on a road job, and the road job, it might go, well, say from Boston to Springfield, or it could go from Boston, Mass to Orlando, Florida. And the train on its way, it might go from Boston to Albany. Now it needs a crew change. Now it's going from Albany to Baltimore. Okay, now it needs another crew change. Now it's going from Baltimore to Richmond. Now it needs another crew change. Now it's going from Richmond to Shenandoah. Now it's going from Shenandoah to Bristol, Tennessee. Now it's going from Tennessee to Georgia. Now it's going from Georgia to Louisiana. Now it's going from so there's a lot of different steps that go in there. And the train that I'm on, that I've been on this last 3 months, originates in Alabama and Allentown. So it goes from Birmingham to Alabama to Allentown, Pennsylvania. We're on the Pennsylvania side of things. So the reason that I don't know when I'm coming back is because there's probably 7 or 8 crew change points between when it originates to when it gets to Hagerstown for us to come back.
Yep.
A lot can happen in 7 crew change times, with each crew being able to work up to 12 hours. At the 12-hour mark, we are no longer by law allowed to operate anything to do with the railroad. We can't throw a switch. We can't put a handbrake on a car.
Yeah, it's similar to a CDL driver.
Yeah, it's like a CDL driver.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that could happen. We had a derailment at Horseshoe Curve a couple days last week, where I don't know if you saw the video footage of it, but there you can look it up on YouTube. As a freight train going by that originates, I think that originates around Baltimore area, because I know it comes through Abrams, Reading and goes through Altoona and Horseshoe Curve. And I think they put like 15 cars or 15 or 18 cars on the ground. And I'm not 100% sure why. But I also know that some of these trains that they're running are very heavy. And when I say very heavy, I mean like between 10 and 18,000 tons. So if you ever wonder why a train can't stop on a dime, you try hauling 18,000 tons with 3 locomotives throughout the consist and tell me if you can stop quick.
Well, it's even like with the semis.
Yeah.
Semis are the same way, and people have,
You
people
understand
are stupid.
that. Oh, yeah.
People are stupid. I see people pull in front of a fucking a semi, excuse my language. They pull in front of a semi. The semi blows their horn at them, and they throw their brake on. I'm like, he's not stopping. If he has a full load, he's not stopping, buddy.
He's going right through the back of your car. Hello, Ross. We speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
My brother has a CDL, and like he had to learn the actual mathematical equation of how fast he was going, how much he had for weight, and how long it would take him to stop. And he told me most of the time it's almost a football field.
Oh yeah. And I can tell you a freight train, like a fully loaded freight train, and we had 144 cars on our last trip from Pennsylvania to Maryland, and we were just under 10,000 tons. There are some areas where, like our speed limit, we can run anywhere between say 35 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour, depending on curves, track conditions, locations. Obviously, we have some cities that our track speed is slower for safety reasons because of a lot of crossings. Then we have some areas where it's just we're doing 60. If something were to happen, we're not stopping for like 2 miles. I heard over the radio a train hit somebody's motorcycle and didn't stop for 4 miles. Nobody was on the motorcycle. They were stupid and parked it between 2 active main lines. So there was no injuries or anything like that. But somebody decided, oh, I'm just going to put my motorcycle here between these 2 tracks and walk away. Stupid.
Like I've seen people break down on train tracks, and they're trying to get their car. It's like you're just better off getting out of the car and running. Let the train hit it at that point. If the car won't move off the tracks and the train's coming, you don't have the time.
Yeah, and
just let the train hit it.
I've seen videos of people who are like flagging the train down, trying to get them to stop. And I can guarantee you, being in the cab of that locomotive, if we see something on the track, we're going to have the brakes on, but we can't put the brakes on too much because we have to have a controlled stop. With that much weight behind you, it could, it's like in your car and you're driving down the highway and you see a squirrel jet out in front of you. And your choice is you can try to swerve to avoid it, but you might hit oncoming traffic or a wall beside you, or you can run the damn thing over. And sometimes the safer thing is just to hit it and slow down and deal with it afterwards. We don't want to, but that's just kind of what happens.
Yep.
Thankfully, knock on wood, that I have the only things we've hit on any train that I've been on is trees, deer, and a possum that decided, oh, this hot rail is nice to just lay on.
That's sad, but
it's sad, but at the same time, I would rather hit like a deer than a person.
Yep.
John Knight in the chat says ReZero Season 4 Part 2 is now streaming on Crunchyroll.
I stopped watching that.
I couldn't get into Season 2. I had to force myself through Season 1. And
I
the
just
more,
think a lot of the like newer animes just they don't sit well anymore.
yeah,
It's like they're doing the same thing over and over again. Haven't really seen anything that's just like new. Like what is going to take over like the big ones? Like My Hero's gone. What else is gone now?
Attack on Titan.
Attack, like all those big ones. What's the new big ones? Because I haven't really seen anybody.
I would say Demon Slayer is up there right now. I don't. Is there more JJK coming?
I don't know.
Ross says Bleach is ending.
Yeah, Bleach is ending, but even that was like that just came back and they did the Thousand World. Even though they'll do the Hell Arc, maybe. I'd like them to.
I mean,
We'll see.
Freerun had the possibility of growing into a longer running series up until the time that the creators had health issues that have suspended production
Yep.
of the source material. Apothecary Diaries, I feel like that could be a contender to be like, we always hear him talk about the big three in the world of anime. Oh, these are the top 3 shows that are for fan bases and things like that.
Well, that came from Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
Back in those days of Shonen Jump.
But I feel like you could, like with Apothecary Diaries and the following it has, I feel like that could be part of the new big 3 or like this generation's big 3.
Because if you really think back then, like Shonen, if it was in Shonen Jump, you got it over here. A lot of like Dill series you never did. But it's going to be interesting because I was talking to Angela about this. Did you know the new movie for Apothecary Diaries is coming out the same day as the new Marvel movie?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
And
Doomsday. The same as Doomsday.
And do you know which one I would rather see?
Well, I told her most likely, other than the global market, Apothecary Diaries will probably beat it in the box office in Japan.
Yeah. I would rather watch Apothecary Diaries because I'm not a huge I'm not a huge comic book or superhero fan.
Oh, really? I'm looking forward to Doomsday. I think this one might actually be. I'm hoping, especially how good Spider-Man was, I'm hoping Doomsday kind of puts Marvel back on its feet.
John Knight says JJK Season 4 is coming. I know Jujutsu Kaisen does have a pretty big following. Ross in the chat says this is anime news for Doug. A new train anime is coming to high.
Dumb question.
Okay.
No, this was something I wanted to ask the other night.
Oh, what's her name coming in tomorrow? Same time, whatever.
I don't know if Darren's.
Yeah, I think he meant to mute beforehand.
Yeah.
But Ross says new train anime coming to High Dive this fall called Tetsurio Meet with Tetsudo Musume. I don't know this one. Let's see, my anime list. Let's see if I can find stuff about this. Seasonal anime.
Oh, it's from Ponyo Canyon.
Oh, did you find it?
Yeah. An upcoming anime television series produced by Ponyo Canyon and animated by East Fish Studio. The series follows 4 university students who are interested in railways as members of a railway travel club. They travel to various train stations and meet characters from the Tetsuo Musume franchise.
Interesting.
Oh, and that franchise, it's translate to Railway Girls, Japanese multimedia, created by Tom Tech, a subsidiary of Takuya Tomy.
Okay,
Focuses on, female characters work on various railroad networks in Japan, with each one based on real life railway or trains. Okay. And it uses promotional material and collaborations.
Okay, that could be interesting.
Especially if it relates to like real railroad stuff in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
And this time I'm here to stay for whatever's left.
All right.
It looks like Doug has a new railway anime to watch.
Oh, wow.
Tetsuyo, meet with Tetsudo Musume. Ross was just talking about it in the chat. Says that's it. Kaaya went looking through, and that basically is Tetsuyo meet with railroad girls.
Okay. Well, that's one way to get people interested in trains.
So cute girls doing train things.
So, Rail Wars. No.
Rail Wars. No.
Meets Contact Collection and Girls und Panzer and Strike Witches and right?
No, it's gonna be it'll be more like real Rail Warriors. So Tetsuo Musume is a Japanese multimedia franchise that's basically just it focuses on female characters working for various railroad networks in Japan, with each one based on a real life railway or train.
And that's kind of what I meant in the sense of Girls und Panzer Strike with all that, because they all relayed back to actual ships and tanks and planes that existed and whatnot. What the? I don't know why y'all honking at me.
Oh, there's even one. There's one list of episodes for the drama. There's one about the monorail in Tokyo, the Fukuoka Railway, the Satami Rapid Railway, Kaisei Electric Railway.
All right, this sounds like it could actually be really interesting for just hearing. Like, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like that could really be up my alley. A slice of life genre, adult cast.
Adult cast, there's a rarity.
Even though the picture, they all look like school students. There's a rarity. All the girls look like they could be in middle school, but they're all adults. It's like the 40-year-old teacher from Certain Magical Index. She looks like she's 8.
My favorite.
Cracks open a beer.
My favorite teacher for that was my mental multiple choice power is ruining my school romantic comedy. Or I forget what the shortened name of that. Or not Orimo. What is it? It isn't Origaru. It isn't Orimo. It's I forget. I'll remember it later. Did you watch that one? Did you watch that one, Doug, where the guy always found himself in bad situations because he had to make a terrible choice of the 4 that were given him?
Yep.
So you remember the teacher I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
No cum. That's what it was.
Now, I know you said that you are behind on Chainsmoker Cat. What has been your opinion of what you've seen? Kaaya has no interest in watching it, and I spoiled some of the the first 3 episodes anyway with some of the content.
I think for many people, it's hitting real life way too close to home because unfortunately, this is how some people actually do live their lives, which is quite sad. I think it's giving like a little in-depth look into how stuff actually is, or it can be.
Yeah, one of the comments I had made is it feels like a show that focuses on multiple types of addiction and kind of what it can lead to in worst case scenarios.
Which is ironic considering the anime that's supposedly coming out later. Hold on.
Yeah, and it's I remember I didn't finish the podcast, but I know that Trash Taste was talking about there was stuff coming out that was going to be just as bad. I don't remember the name of it though. I think that's what Darren was going to mention. But I think with him driving, I think not supposed to be on the phone.
Well, if it's hands-free, he's fine, but I wouldn't even be on the phone if I'm driving.
I mean, I have been on the phone while driving because I have hands-free and it goes through the car.
Yeah, I stopped doing that only because people drive like idiots. I want my full attention on the road now because it's getting bad, at least where I live.
Oh, I can agree that it depends on where you're driving. It can get bad. And hats off to my wife. She's been doing a really good job of teaching her how to drive so she can get her license.
Oh, and it looks like Ross is going to watch Doomsday too. Yay.
He said he's not going to watch Doomsday.
Oh, he's not? Oh, yeah. Not what? Why?
Instead, he's going to be watching Violent Night 2 and the final Jumanji.
I think Doomsday is going to be a good one.
I did do something new today, though, Kaaya.
What'd you do?
It only took 48 years and 3+ months to get me into a gym.
Oh, God.
Granted, I walked 40 minutes on the treadmill with my wife, but I was in the gym for 40 minutes on the treadmill at about 3.5% grade at 3 miles an hour walking.
You're gonna wish you did it years ago, though. That's what I do. After hurting myself, I was like, I wish I was going to the gym when I was younger, because it's harder for us to like gain the muscle.
I'm not even like interested in that. Like, I have no interest. I'll be honest. I really didn't have any interest in going to the gym whatsoever. But I know that, for better health, because I'm 48. I'm not getting any younger. B, I have a very physical job that requires, stamina and physical strength, because freight cars are big, bulky, heavy pieces of machinery.
Yep.
If a knuckle breaks, those things weigh between 40 and 60 pounds. I have to be able to pick that up and replace it.
So remember, as you get older, your muscles actually deteriorate some. So if you're working out, you'll actually slow that down. So you'll keep your strength up as you go into your 50s.
That's one reason why I finally broke down after years of her being like, just go to the gym. Come with me. And I'm like, no. That's why all I did today was treadmill. But it's a start. Let me start slow. I don't want to kill myself and be like, I don't want to have to go to work and handle 100+ car train and have my muscles be screaming at me where it hurts to walk. It hurts to turn a handbrake. I don't want to be exhausted and things like that. So I'm just going to ease into everything.
So all you need to do is probably do the same exercise as I do. So I do a lot of core, and then I do a little bit of upper. So I'll do bench presses. I'll do leg presses. I'll do bicep curls. I do the trunk twists. And then
she
I
said
do
she's gonna try to figure out like a plan for me that could work to.
because probably with you for lifting would be like concentrate on the core, your glutes, and a little bit of your upper body. So do like, grab the 2 weights, curl them, that type of stuff. Why am I forgetting the name of it? Like I do sitting down rows. Because then, because you could come in the issue like I have with my lower back later on, but if you strengthen that core.
Oh, my lower back's already screwed.
Right, but as you strengthen your core, it protects that lower back. It gets those muscles to protect it. And then just to make sure when you lift, you don't twist.
I would say, does working a trailer gate multiple times a day count?
You still should do a regular workout because I learned that through PT. Like me, even just working isn't enough. I need to do stuff that just targets the muscles directly.
Yeah, I also want to work on stuff to help with stamina because, worst comes to worst, something happens. And I've had to walk 2.5 miles of freight train to check to make sure there's no issues, and then 2.5 miles back.
I'll say you should always start on the bike or treadmill when you work out regardless. So treadmill's fine. So I usually do like 10, 20 minutes on a treadmill. Then I go do my other exercises. Granted, I don't even know why I'm thinking what they are. I have the app from, I do lat pull downs, tricep extensions, full leg press, hip abductions, hip extensions, standing anti-rotation press, trunk rotations with resistance, shoulder extension with resistance, goblet squat, and then I do hamstring curls with a weight machine.
And coming from chat, Ross in the chat had some things that Darren will not agree with me on this, but in my opinion, but this is my opinion, but season 2 of Otome Mob feels like a repeat of season 1 for some reason.
Haven't watched, so no comment.
John Knight says Banana Fish is now streaming on Netflix with English dub, no AI dub.
Well, that's good. That's a step in the right direction.
And then Ross says, to answer Kaaya's question, I don't watch a lot of Marvel movies. I have not seen all Avengers, small shows, or new Marvel movies except Captain America and up to Brand New Day and Shang-Chi. Didn't see Endgame, Infinity War, Thunderbolts, Loki, Black Widow movie, WandaVision, Eternals, Black Panther 2, or Fantastic Four. Was not interested in that. That's why I won't watch Doomsday unless it has Deadpool. And yes, I have seen all Deadpool movies from Ross.
It might have Deadpool. Seeing what Ryan Reynolds did at Comic-Con. Kind of hinted at it. And I can agree with Fantastic Four, but once you understand that's a completely different universe they were in and not in the main universe we're used to, and you'll understand that when you watch Doomsday, because Doomsday is basically going to be it's like different universes. That's why the X-Men are there now. That's why you're going to see characters you don't normally see. But it's all different universes.
I mean, like Angela? Oh.
Do you know enough of Marvel, Doug, about how there's different universes?
Not really, because
DC does the same thing, kind of the same thing too.
I'd say the only show I watch with multiple universes is Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's basically multiple, like Ross would know because he watched the Deadpool movies. especially like if you watch Deadpool versus Wolverine, you would know this. There's different universes and there's variants of each universe. You know, go for it. That's why Doctor Doom looks like Tony Stark, because there is a variant of Doctor Doom that was originally Tony Stark if he did become Iron Man
So,
in the comic.
just to clarify, by different universes, can that also entail different dimensions or what?
Kind of like different dimensions, basically.
Okay, because the other thing I saw with multiple different dimensions was the Turtles Forever movie that brought all three of them together. What? Yeah, all three of them.
Yeah, so Ross, you understand, like even in Doctor Strange, it really talks about it. Because they talk about the incursions, which I think Doomsday is going to be about an incursion, because an incursion is when two universes basically collide, destroying both, or they can save one. But one has to be destroyed in the outcome.
Ross in the chat also says that he forgot to add that he has seen all Ant-Man, Thor, and Doctor Strange movies.
I've seen zero.
Thor? Where is Thor, and why was he crying? If you would only know that if you know Deadpool.
I don't know any of it.
Ditto.
Ross probably knows that line.
I will say, Darren, as you watch Chainsmoker Girl, it ebbs and flows. How far did you get? Did you get past the first 3 episodes, or?
Yes, I'm on either episode 4 or 5. I don't remember which one.
Okay, because I know episode 4 and 5 are mild compared to the first 3, and then episode 6 is absolutely hysterical.
Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely not that far. I've been kind of juggling. Like, that's one of the only new shows that I was trying to keep up, or started trying to keep up with, per se. The main things that I've definitely been keeping up with, say for these past episodes, are Jobless and Tanya. And then, of course, Slime is reaching. Well, Rimuru did it again. He pulled it. He pulled the Eins. He did something major without realizing it was major.
Yeah,
are you watching that one, Kaaya?
Kaaya is keeping up on Slime.
He is?
I have not watched it since season 2.
Now, are you caught up with Jobless?
I am caught up with Jobless. Kaaya, were you caught up on Jobless as well? I know we were talking earlier. You said that you.
Yeah, I watched a recent episode today.
Okay, I just need to watch the most recent episode. I saw the last one where he reconciled with his old friend.
Is it bad I'd watched that so long ago? I forgot who she was.
Not really.
It wasn't until like they did a cutback. I'm like, oh, I kind of remember her.
I'm surprised they added that.
Because wasn't that dropped in the novel and just kind of hinted at?
Yes. It's funny because I believe the novel didn't really, like, the anime is explaining more than the novel did.
Yeah, well, they probably did that because the fans were going to be questioning the heck out of what happened to her, and they just wanted to give her a little wrap-up arc. There ain't no telling.
Yeah. I think I remember the novel just kind of like, I think at one point, I think when he was on the demon continent, it was just him basically teleporting around. it didn't really build anything, but the anime kind of built. It was weird.
I still laugh how like season one, half of season one was just him with ED.
As I said, I think this season's going to end on a cliffhanger because I don't think they're going to be able to have enough episodes.
Well, isn't it a 2-core? Isn't it going to be a 2-core? Isn't it 2-core? Or am I? No, I know Slime is 4-core, but I thought Jobless was going to be a 2-core.
Yeah, but even with 2-core, it seems like they're like doing every 3 episodes like a chapter.
Possible.
So I think they're going to run into.
Season 1 was 24 episodes. Season 2 was 24 episodes. So I'm guessing they're probably going to continue with the 24 episodes for season 3. How far it's going to go, I don't know. So, Darren, you said the last one you saw was him reconciling with the girl from his past?
With Sarah, yeah.
Okay, so you're 2 episodes behind.
2 episodes?
Yeah, because episode 8 dropped yesterday.
Yep.
So yeah. Like I said, Slime was the one that really had me on the edge of my seat. So, in the little free time I had, that was the one I watched because, whoo.
You always forget Slime as a reincarnation isekai.
Well, that's the thing. After the very first episode or 2, you completely forget because they almost never allude to it again. I mean, he's probably got the most iconic scene of any isekai. Before I die, wipe my hard drive.
But it's funny, they hint at it in the anime, but it's like you would never remember. It's like I never think that Rimuru actually was reincarnated. I feel like he's always been there.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to say I'll give credit to their world building. When he started modeling, said, okay, now to cure to other nations, we need to basically model ourselves after a republic.
Yep.
That was like, okay, now we're playing into the politics Doug liked about from
Realist Hero.
Thank you. So, but no, Rimuru is really just turning that world into a modern day, or trying to turn the world into a modern day Japan where everyone more or less gets along.
And Ross is saying Kaaya needs to read my comment. Not read it out loud, just read the comment. Of
I will momentarily.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And this is a comment for Kaaya, since he's caught up like I am, and Darren, you're 2 episodes behind. Your next episode, Darren, is going to involve Cat Girl and Dog Girl, the 2 classmates that had issues with Gray Rat at the beginning with Rudius, and end up calling him boss afterwards.
Boss, is it?
That was definitely an interesting episode. I was not expecting to see what happened with that.
And Darren, have you read the novel fully?
No, I haven't read the novel at all.
So I'm probably the only one that knows what happens to those 2.
We are talking about the ones that are making claymations, right?
From Jobless.
Yeah. The guy and the little girl that they saved.
No,
talking about the 2 Wolfkins, the one that wants to be.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Persidia and the other one.
Yeah, the 2 that were inseparable.
Yeah, I saw the spoiler on that the other day. Sad. The fact that I'm not even gonna say it.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
it
actually
actually
kind of
is,
touching.
I mean, it was, but I'm not going to spoil it for those that don't know.
Yeah.
It's touching, but then if you know what happens later on in their lives, it's sad.
Yeah.
I'll just just leave it at that. It's
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
the only one that knows the future of this show.
because I
Of
got
the three of us.
spoiled. That's the issue.
I was about to say, and I was spoiled on that particular information the other day because it came across my thing.
Like, no offense, like the slime, I know most of the timeline and where they're going with the seasons right now. And if they keep going, if this series keeps going, it gets really interesting because there's more to that world than anybody knows.
Uh-huh.
There's a reason why civilizations are gone.
But we are just about out of time. Holy crap, it's 10 o'clock already.
Oh, wow.
Time flew.
Quitting time and payday.
But thank you to everybody who tuned in today. It was fun chatting with everyone. It was fun being back on the air. It's been a while. Hopefully it's not another 3 weeks before I can be live. Fingers crossed. I might try to play some game tomorrow night just for shits and giggles. See how I feel. Because I haven't really sat down and played games on the computer in a while. So until then, I hope everybody out there has a wonderful week. Stay safe. Enjoy the nice weather that we've been having. Hopefully for Darren, it dips under the triple digits.
What nice weather.
I mean, granted, we're dealing with rain up here, but
Well,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Darren, you got to come up north. It's nice and cool. It's not too hot. The humidity's really down. Just come up north.
okay, it's down where you're at. The humidity sucks here.
I have to say, look, what's rain? We went from getting a whole bunch of rain in July to now everything's starting to dry out again. We haven't had a good rain, at least in my general area, in almost 3 weeks again.
Good Lord. But until then, everybody have a wonderful week. We look forward to seeing you again here for more Anime-Zing Radio on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you again, hopefully in the near future.